From Yahoo News, which isn't news. Venezuelan exiles turn to prostitution to feed families. Now, there's other articles I found about women in Venezuela resorting to prostitution, but these are women who they're exiles. They've escaped Venezuela. And instead of being guidance counselors, teachers, social workers, diversity counselors, and other Latin American countries, apparently there's no government programs, jobs programs for women. Guess what they've resorted to? Prostitution. Imagine that. Calamar, Colombia. Back in Venezuela, there were teachers, police officers, and newspaper carriers, but they were forced to flee their homeland in search of work and money to survive. But the women without identity papers ended up working as prostitutes in sordid bars in Colombia, saving all they can to provide for their families back home, still in the throes of economic crisis, which you know is not true because Venezuela is a communist paradise and we know it's just a booming economy. Mother of three, Patricia, 30, was beat. Okay, stop. The old captain cares, right? And let me show you why I'm truly not racist. I'm going to help out our Latino and Latina brothers and sisters, right? The reason you are not making as much money as whites or Asians actually does not have anything to do with your income, okay? This is a simple division problem, all right? It is not the color of your skin. It's not that Whitey has magic powers or Asians even have more magic powers or Jews even more magical powers than that. This is simple division, all right? Everyone keeps focusing on the numerator, how much money. No one focuses on the denominator, per capita. That's how we measure how much wealth you have. Income per capita, wealth per capita, GDP per capita. Let me ask you this. Why is a mother of three going and resorting to prostitution? What if she didn't have the 3 mouths to feed? Would Patricia have to go and be a whore? Or she could be a whore and not send money back to the fam. Look, guys, the number one cause of poverty is children you can't afford. Period. End of discussion. It addresses pretty much every country, every race across the globe. Somalia, Chad, Sudan. All right. Now, admittedly, there's some numerator issues. They're not exactly economic powerhouses over there. I grant you that. But when you look at how many children each woman has on average, it's 8. Well, gee whiz, I wonder if Ukabuku stopped spreading her legs or we maybe introduced the pill over there, maybe your income per capita, imagine that. Let's just say you didn't have 8 kids, you had 2, all right, 2. So that would be, how would I do the math? You're assuming a mother and father live together. Oh, Aaron and you Ward Cleaver ways. Oh my goodness. Let's just assume. So you went from a family of 8 to 4 to, 10 to 4, 2.5. You could overnight increase your income per capita by 250% by simply not spitting out kids. Don't say, oh, it's the whitey man keeping his Maybe the reason there's that caravan coming up here, leaving their socialist shitholes, coming to a, quote, racist Trump hates us country. I mean, if you hate the country that much, why are you coming here? Maybe, it's brilliant how immigrants think that we have magic dirt. They think that there's something special about American dirt. Like once you cross this arbitrary line in the desert, hey, now we're successful. No, you have too many damn kids. That's what it is. That's all it is. And Patricia, who's not only a whore, but is a stupid whore. I bet you the father's not going to be available for comment on this one. She had 3 kids. How much better do you think she would have survived the socialist dictatorship of Chavez and Maduro? How much better off do you think she'd be if she didn't fucking spread her legs? Or she could have spread her legs as many times as she wanted, but she either got the fucking birth control pill or had an abortion. And imagine what a great time her 3 children are having now, right? Because all life is precious. Never mind living in a fucking dictatorship. A mom's a whore in a different country, spreading her legs, catching diseases, shipping back some fucking bolivars or some pesos or whatever the fucking currency is down there. Don't tell me racism. How about stop spreading your legs? And that is friendly advice. That is the best fucking economic advice the entire Latina and Latino American or Latin community, period, would ever get. Stop spitting out more kids than you can afford, period. End of discussion. Clary's economic plan did more to boost the standards of living of traditionally impoverished countries in the world. Again, I'll be like, what's his name? Tesla. No one will remember. Hey, did you know Aaron Clary had this crazy revolutionary idea that instead of focusing on the numerator of income, that we should instead focus on the capita? Holy shit! Latinas and Latinos, close wage gap. Say thank you, Aaron Clary, a crazy former Irishman who unfortunately was Scandinavian. Mother of three, Patricia, 30, was beaten, raped, and sodomized by a drunken client, but she keeps on working in a brothel in Calamar in the center of the country. Oh. There are customers who treat you badly, and that is horrible, she says. Every day I pray to God that they are good to us. Allegra is a teacher of history and geography. Oh, I bet you she has a happy story, because teachers. But in Venezuela, gripped by chronic hyperinflation, she was earning just 312,000 bolivars a month, less than $1. But see, they just haven't done it right. You see, Venezuela, they did it wrong because in America, when we do socialism, the teachers are going to get paid $100,000 a year because we deserve it. Her salary was not enough even for a packet of pasta. The 26-year-old mother of a 4-year-old. Where's the fucking dad? Why did you have a kid? So let me get this right. You're 26, you fucked when you were 21, had the kid at 22, your kid's 4. 5 years ago, did you not notice the shitty Venezuelan economy? Did you say, hey, maybe I shouldn't bring a kid in it? No! Because reasons. Let me guess, you're in your situation because of Whitey, right? Because of America. America is your oppressor, but you're going to all want to come here, I bet. In February, she crossed the border into Colombia. She initially worked for 3 months as a waitress in the East, the job which offered room and board, but Allegra was never paid, getting by on tips. I sent my tips home to my family, she said. 6 people! Including her son were relying on her. How's that third and second world culture coming where mom and dad just sit on their asses and rely on you young kids to fucking pay for everything? That seems to be a common refrain here among the American Latino and the American Asian cultures. Where you're just supposed to go out and make money and give it to your mom and dad who just sit on their duffs. And I don't know why a lot of these Asian cultures and countries and the Latin cultures and countries, why don't you have income per capita? Why are you booming global powers like Switzerland or what's the other one? Andorra or Malta or Monaco? Why don't you have $60,000 per income? Why don't you? Eventually, even those were confiscated. Oh, by the socialist governments that you guys all had to face. Did you girls vote in the government to take care of you and not the fathers? Not the husbands? So Alegria made her way south to Calamar, which is located in an area scarred by decades of armed conflict. The region... I wonder if the FARC leftist guerrillas are down there too. I wonder if socialism is just wonderful. The region is a hub for drug trafficking and a bastion for dissident former FARC guerrillas. You girls can't vote for enough leftist dick, can ya? With 9 other women, Alegria, a pseudonym she gave AFP for the story that means happiness, prostitutes herself every night in a bar in the town of 3,000 people. Each client pays her between 30,000 and 50,000 pesos. Again, another instance of where your socialism gets you, which is only $11 or $16, of which $7,000 is kept by the establishment's manager. On a good night, Allegra can earn the equivalent between $30 and $100. You know, I earned that in 15 minutes doing asshole consulting, you know. But, you know, ignore Western civilization. What could you possibly learn? It's all, what is the word that everyone uses to excuse the fact that they breed more kids than they can have, and that's why they're poor? Colonialism, neo-colonialism, that's what it is. We never intended on prostituting ourselves. Well, if you voted leftist, you did. Girls, if you vote left long enough, you inevitably are voting to prostitute yourself, and I'll explain why down the road here. We're doing it because of the crisis, said Jolie, her voice cracking. This 35-year-old lost her job. Oh, Jolie, we're on to a third girl now. This 35-year-old lost her job as a newspaper carrier. Wow, not an engineer? Come on, man. Women in STEM. Because there was no more paper to print them. Oh my God, you lost your job because in a country filled with trees, with a freaking jungle, there's no paper. After 4 years of recessions and years of financial mismanagement, Venezuela's crisis has seen poverty soar as basic necessities such as food and medicine became scarce. Inflation is set to hit a staggering 1.4 million% this year, according to the International Monetary Fund, which says 2019 will see that figure reach an astronomical 10 million%. All right, here we go again, guys. Like I said, I just looked at the article. I just looked at the title. How right I am. Jolie left her 3 children with her mother. Why not the father? Why? Oh my God. Don't ever tell me it's Whitey's fault your countries suck. Don't tell me it's neocolonialism. Don't tell me it's sexism. Don't tell me it's the patriarchy. Don't tell me it's global warming. You dumb fucking broad, spread your legs and you spit out way too many damn children. Period. This is not complex. This doesn't need a sociological, political analysis. You're a bunch of dumb fucking whores who can't keep your legs shut. And I'm even for you spreading your legs. I don't know if you heard about it. I don't know if the technology has reached it like electricity or the internet. You guys got internet down there in these South American countries? All right, you must have the pill and abortions too. Jolie left her 3 children with her mother before trekking from town to town and looking to job to make ends meet. What if you just didn't have the damn kids? When she crossed the border into Colombia without a passport, she had nothing but clothes she was wearing. Oh, she had more than that. She had what men want. That's called a vagina. We're going to get to that later, too. Some 1.9 million Venezuelans have fled the crisis-ridden country since 2015, according to the United Nations. Opt-out options. Jolie's story is a painful one. Oh, I'm sure it's all great. Yeah, because escaping socialist shitholes to go to slightly less socialist shitholes is wonderful. I'm sure it's great. She is divorced from the father of her children, but he died of renal failure. All right, that's the first legitimate excuse I've heard. I'm sorry for that. Denying her the help she needed to raise them. Well, you divorced them. So what? Like he has a job. Like there's a job in Venezuela. Then she said the man she was due to marry died of a heart attack due to a lack of medication. Well, that's not possible because I'm sure healthcare is free in Venezuela, right? God, I love this. I am getting a boner, like the size of a fishing pole right now. This is great. The I told you so in the comeuppance. I mean, I guarantee you all voted this in. You all couldn't wait for Hugo Chavez. My back was against the wall, Jolie said. She said she couldn't even find work as a cleaner because of her Venezuelan accent, so ended up in Calamar, so she turned to sex work. In June, her 19-year-old niece, Milagro, joined her at the brothel. At first, I felt terrible, said the teenager, but she stuck it out trying to help her sick mother, her brothers, and 2-year-old child. So you were fucking at 16. Her mother has since died. Beside the financial hardships and obvious unpleasantries of the work, is this article ever going to get about, like, we estimate that they'd be all right if they didn't spit out children? Besides the financial hardships and obvious unpleasantness of the work, many women struggle with hiding the truth from their families. What do you think? Really? Really? Like, they can't figure it out? Like, our daughter, well, she was a newspaper carrier with her political science degree from Cartagena, U. She went overseas with nothing, and now she's sending us money. I bet you she's a nuclear engineer over in, not Cartagena. Cartagena is Colombia? What's Venezuela? I used to know the cap. Cartagena is Colombia. Venezuela is something else. I'm sure she's working as a chemical engineer at Abbott's lab down in Cartagena. Oh my God, you women in your dumbass dream. Oh my God, listen to this. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. They don't know what I do. Even my mother admits Allegria. No, she knows. It would be too difficult for her after sacrificing 5 years of her life to pay for my studies. She dreams of teaching in Colombia because teachers. If you had an engineering degree, ladies, I don't think you'd have to be splaying your vagina for all the men down there in Calamar. But you know, anything to avoid a real job, right? Anything to avoid a real job. You girls will resort to prostitution to avoid a real job, won't you? And at least some women are honest about it. Yeah, okay, I'll suck dick. Yeah, you know, it makes more money. I'll do that. Okay, and then tip your hat. Or you're a stripper, you're paying your way through college or engineer. Okay, cool, tip my hat. I think that's a brilliant idea. But you girls, just great quote from Atham, my good buddy Atham. And it was his father that said, lazy people work twice as hard. And you girls are learning that right now. If you had majored in engineering, you actually went to a real study, doesn't matter if you're in the United States or any other country, if you had become an engineer, you would be immensely better off. Immensely. But I want to become a teacher. What are you going to teach them? How to suck dick and contract STDs? How to spit out kids you can't afford? Here's how you spread your legs and not use a condom. Dreams of teaching in Colombia, but without a passport, it's impossible. Yeah, fuck reality and law. She tells her loved one she works in a bakery, but sick of lying, she finally confessed the truth in an emergency team of medics from the doctors of the world in Kalahar. Anxiety, depression, and PSTD. See what worthless degrees in communism results in? Are you going to admit that this is all caused by communism and lies? And kids you can't afford? Or are you going to blame it on white people? Now, come on, blame it on Western civilization. I'd love to see you blame it on us. John James, an MDM psychologist, says the women suffer from anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, everybody does now. The fear of the armed men in the region is very real. On top of that, the tropical climate exposes them to run-of-the-mill infections as well as dang malaria, he added. Then there are sexually transmitted diseases and unwanted pregnancies that result when clients refuse to wear condoms. Well, they're used to that. Who cares? At the MDM hospital, a doctor treats them, fits them with birth control implants, and offers advice. Some break down in tears. Why? Because it's the first one to tell them reality? Around 60 Venezuelans work as prostitutes in Calamar. MDM gives them food, hygiene products, and contraceptives. Back at the bar, they emerge from their siesta into steamy humidity and start preparing for work, applying lipstick, brushing their hair, and squeezing into hot pants and tiny revealing tops. It's an unforgiving life, but one not without hope. Escape. Escape! Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Former police officer Pamela, 20, went to Jose de Guevara, a 3-hour drive from Calamar, for an abortion and managed to continue on to the greater Bogota area. Bogota. Okay, that's the name. She now works as a waitress for $10 a day, only 10% of what she could have in a brothel, but one she prefers over the one she started with in Calamar, where she was basically her pimp's property. So, the economy is telling you something. You have 10 times more value because of sex than you do serving as drinks. Think about that. That's the economy telling you something. What does the real world demand? The real world demands sex, not you serving men drinks. Did you say serving men? Yes. Because I'm going to get to it later. This guy lied to us, she said ruefully. Imagine that. A pimp down in Colombia lied to you. Milagro has also found a way out in the form of a pilot she is now dating. Oh, a man comes to the rescue, huh? Oh, but you don't need no man-fish bicycle. Mother of four. Alejandra, 37, says she isn't looking for a husband. Of course not. Why would you? Well, who's going to have you by now? One man isn't enough. I need a lot to feed the little one, she says. Her youngest child, just 2 months old, was fathered by a client. Yeah, because why get abortions? One man isn't enough. I need a lot. Didn't you know that getting into the socialist government, having the government pay for all this, is where the problem started? Oh, God almighty. We don't have to talk about the costs and consequences of socialism. I'm not going to tell you. I am going to point out here what happens. When all the bullshit is taken away, when all the niceties of Western civilization as civilized society is taken away, you get to the core staples of an economy and society. And we are talking food, clothing, and shelter, of which most of you don't have. But may I point out that the only thing that is in demand really in this bare bones economy is sex. And I'm going to point out to you girls again, and you can fight this all you want. You could say it is what it is. You know how men have to accept it is what it is, that you girls prefer to have a career and going to dad and rah-rah female. Okay, fine, we're not going to have a kid. But we have to accept what it is. You girls are also going to have to accept that the number one thing you offer society is sex, is female beauty. Again, you may not like that. I'm not saying you have to like that. And you can have certainly whatever disagreements and reservations and disgust even about that. But the number one thing men want is sex. And the reason I'm telling you is because it is what it is. You can't have any more clear proof than at the core of the nucleus of an economy is that men want sex. And in exchange for sex, you know what we do? We produce everything. We produce everything. We create all the innovations. We do all the manual hard labor. We lay down the railroads. We work the coal mines. We produce electricity. We build nuclear reactors. We create medicines. We lay down roads. Don't think that everyone, oh my God, women are having to have sex. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, what, really? You want to go work up on telephone poles in the middle of a night at 20 below zero? If you want to make money and have an easy way to success, you might want to have sex. I am not saying prostitution, however. This is where we have to be very clear, right? There's the quick, direct sex. Sex has always been there. Prostitution has always been there. Again, kind of like black markets prove, capitalism is a fundamental aspect of human nature. It is the default state of economics is capitalism. It doesn't matter if you have a communist country. There was always a black underground economy. It doesn't matter if you made drugs illegal. There's always a market. There's always a free fucking market because capitalism is human nature. And you know what? Just as sure as capitalism is human nature, so is sex and prostitution. Prostitution has always been there. Vice and booze has always been there. Drugs has always been there. I don't care if it's the fucking Arabs and their theocracies. I don't care how much they crack down. There's always booze, drugs, and prostitution there. Right? It is the heartbeat, the heartline of every economy. And the only reason men get up in the fucking morning is because of sex. Now, it could be children in love. You could make the argument again on the non-prostitution side. It's like, well, we'd like to propagate our species. We take a vested interest in our children. We're not going to go there right now. But sex in general. Hang on. And again, you may not like it, but I'm pointing out here, where are all these women going? They're all going into prostitution. Where are the fathers? And no one to be saying, what are men willing to pay for? They're willing to pay 10 times the rate for sex than they are waitressing. And when you girls come in there with your fucking dipshit degrees and dipshittery studies, the only value you have to men is sex. Now, you say, well, that's men. We women have we have value. Okay, what? What are women going to pay other women for? Fashion, marketing, well, I'll grant you that. But how much purchasing power do women have? Not to dismiss the market, the fashion industry or makeup and the beauty and cosmetics. I'm not saying that, but the real money, much as it may hate, you girls may hate it, the real money, the real production throughout society and history has been men. We produce the money, and yes, women have entered the labor market. You still haven't closed the wage gap. You still don't major in engineering and STEM. You don't major in you're not on the evolutionary edge. We have to lower the standards. So you're never, ever, ever going to produce the economic production and capacity of men. You'll never match it. You'll never do it. I'm thoroughly convinced that you want to pay lip service to the idea, but none of you, well, I can't say none of you, some women are. Some women are honest. They'll go major in engineering, and God bless you will. But as a group, you women are never going to be the producers. You're never not as a whole, not as a group. Not when you have to have rules and laws made that, oh yeah, we're going to force companies to put you in the board of directors seats. That's not going to result in production. And so the number one asset you women have is sex, is your youth and your beauty, because men are willing to pay for it. Again, you may not like that, but that's what it is. And I cannot point any more clearly than to this stripped down socialist shithole. When it's brass tacks, when it's on the line, men will pay for sex. They are not going to pay you to be a fucking teacher to some fucking Colombian kid. Because it has no value. None. I mean, God, even in the, it's not Western world, but we could say quasi-first world or developed nations, developed world. They had that article a couple weeks ago about the Chinese, how they will employ good-looking young women to go in and just walk around. Just talk to their programmers. Because in China, as in the United States, the vast majority of programmers are men. They acknowledge this. They're no dummies. It's ironic that the communists, quote communists, Chinese communists, more capitalist than Americans ever would think of being, they at least acknowledge reality. They say, hey, men like girls. Shock. Shock. Men want to have sex with girls. Shock. Sexist. I know. Horrible. Hey, you know what? It's the engine that has gotten society out of the caves and into space. Shock. Horrors. Who knew? The power of the pussy really is the core engine of the economy. And they hire good-looking girls to just walk around and be nice to their male programmers. They just dress nice, not slutty. You can read the article yourself. They're appropriately dressed. But they're just pretty and they're pleasant. And they ask the guys, "What do you need a soda?" It's so sad that would have, society figured that out long ago in the form of marriage and having a wife. Oh, would you like, I'll have a meal. Oh, you work very hard in the fields, toiling and farming, and, well, I got some food prepared for you. They just take that simple thing and then they apply it to a modern day computer programming company. Hi, how you doing? How was your day? And oh my God, production goes up. And may I point out, there's no sex involved, no STDs, no actual prostitution. I mean, it's prostitution in a sort of way. But you thought about what men wanted. Oh my God. You mean to get the economy going, we might want to actually consider what the group of people that account for 75% of production, nearly 100% of the innovation and technological advance, we might want to ask what they want. And then when the rubber hits the road and all the pleasantries are stripped out, oh, you know what men want? Men want sex. They want young female beauty. And if you wanna get the economy to grow, there was another article. Thorny read it on his wasn't an article. Hang on, do I have it here? It was a study. Where is it? Did I find it? There was a study where they were lamenting the decrease in male labor force participation. And it was a very well researched, very well documented. So the graphs were a bit crude, but they didn't need to be fancy. They're just conveying concepts. But they basically said, with all the advances in technology and all labor force participation has been going down. Men, they can pursue leisure. They stay at home. They don't have to work as much. All the government programs, you could just basically never have to work as a guy if you're minimalist. How do we get men out? And they ended up, I think their conclusion was, we should tax leisure or we should tax bandwidth to get them off social media and force them to get a job. We'll pay for a woman. We'll have the life of Julia where we will pay you from birth to death to do whatever you want. Life about men, hey, we got to get you out into the working force. You can't just be a layabout nothing. You better get out of the working force. And not once in there did it say, hey, maybe we ought to incentivize men. What incentivizes men? What makes men do things? I wonder if there was something in the world that would make men want to get up in the morning and produce stuff, because if there's right now they're just laying around and playing video games and looking at porn. What could we do? What I know, let's punish them for staying at home. Always go to the stick. Oh, fuck the carrot. Let's go right to the stick. Oh, they're mad. Let's beat the shit out of them and take away what they enjoy in life and make them, force them. We're a free country, damn it. I wonder if there was a positive reinforcement we could introduce to their lives that would make them get couldn't be good-looking women, right? Let's have biggest, beautiful, fat acceptance. Let's get all these fat whores that are tatted up and look disgusting and gross and have lip and attitude on top of it. It can't possibly that women have incentivized men to get up in the morning and go slay a saber-toothed tiger or a mammoth. It was never that. Never. Ignore what's happening in Venezuela and Colombia. Ignore that prostitution has existed since the dawn of time. No, it's not that. Don't introduce hot women into economics ever. Never do that, because then we might actually have some fucking economic growth. Hang on. I'm writing that down. Introducing hot women into economics. That is... I'm not joking. Hang on, let me write this down. Right there. You know I have no respect for the economics field, because they are too busy jerking off and masturbating to the frickin' charts and marginal propensity to consume. And we have an equilibrium point. It is so simple. You want to get boom in economic growth, you lower everybody's frickin' taxes, you allow people to be free as possible, and you make the women hot. Boom. Done. Economics solved. Done. From the wealth of nations to Clary's simple axiom, make women hot. Done. Shut up. Shut up. Sorry, Occam's razor is so efficient and simple that it obsoleted the entire profession of economics. Hot chicks obsoletes economics. There you go. Boom. Done. Freedom. Low taxes. Hot chicks. There, that's it. That's it. And no bailouts. None. Low taxes, hot chicks, balanced budget. Boom. Done. There's your economics. I solved it for you. And I am not joking when I say I am a fucking economic genius, because it is that simple. The only thing is I have the balls to say, yeah, you want, chicks should probably be hot. Because now that introduces this concept that, what if women want to be fat slobs and all become feminist studies teacher? Well, okay, I don't know who's going to live off of feminist studies. I don't know if that fills stomachs or put roofs over people's heads. But as far as my 43 years in life, as I've witnessed, is that most of the shit that gets done and created in society is by men. Again, there are some women that actually do contribute, and thank you, tipping of the hat. But the majority of the stuff, especially the technological, has been by men. And the reason men came up with it is because we wanted to get laid. And if you deny that, you are a lying sack of shit, and you know it. You know it. You just don't have the balls to be politically incorrect to tell what the truth is. Oh, and on that note, should we do some more sponsors here? You can go to my other website, olderbrother.com. Check out the Older Brother podcast. And if you go to donate, there's a donate button, but you can just... There's the three ways you can donate. Yes, I have a Patreon. Go patreon.com/Aaron Clary. I have a PayPal account. You can find that at olderbrother.com/donate. The link's there. The main way, if you want to help out the old Cappy podcast, make sure truths like this are going out through the fruited plain, go through my Amazon affiliate program. You could go to olderbrother.com/donate. You'll see the link to the Amazon affiliate program. You can also go captaicapitalism.blogspot.com. You look to the right, there's an Amazon banner. You click on that. You can do all your shopping and your purchases through there. I get a 7% cut. I drive them traffic. It's a sales commission. You don't pay anything extra? No, you don't have to log in. Do I have to set up an account? No, it's so simple. All you have to do is you click on it. Well, should I log in? It doesn't matter. If you have an Amazon account, click on that banner, log in, and do your shopping. That's it. I get the commission. I get the cut. You don't have to set up any other new thing or anything like that. Very simple. What else? We got my books. Reconnaissance Man. Bachelor Pad Economics. The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. Worthless. The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. Enjoy the Decline. Curse of the High IQ. Poor Rich's Retirement. If you read through all those books, you are not going to have any financial problems in the future unless it's external, like you got a health issue or something like that. Or, I don't know, something really bad happens to you outside of your control. Books that are already coming out, but they are either out or coming out. We have my best of books, Captain Capitalism Reserved. That's the best of my blog post. Captain Capitalism Top Shelf, that has a new cover with the pinup girl on it. And then Captain Capitalism Love Letters to the Left is coming out. Once RJ gets off his ass and colors in the coloring book. It's a coloring book, you know. There's the thing. He's just got to color it in. Maybe you sent it to me already. I don't know. If you've already bought these books, please review them online. I think I must have hurt somebody's vaginas because Curse the High IQ is getting a bunch of 1-star reviews recently. Okay, you're so mean. And they never criticize the book. They never criticize what's in it. It's just like, he's mean. It's like, God almighty. The feels. My feels. So if any of you would kindly go and counteract that with bogus 5-star reviews, I'd appreciate it. Or just tell an honest review, truthfully. Just give an honest review there. What else? Oh, hang on. New sponsor. The Pence Principle by Randall Bentwick. Lessons all men must learn from Ford Kavanaugh. You know what? I don't want to... Let me give this the proper send-off. Hang on. Let's do this right. Amazon. Normally I read from the back to promote the book, but his book description is better principle, not money principle or the asshole at the school that I'd get in trouble with all the time. Principle, as in moral. Mike Pence has a policy. He is never left alone with another woman unless his wife is in attendance, and he doesn't attend parties where alcohol is being served without his wife. Our vice president caught a lot of guff for having this somewhat prudish policy. Some even accused him of being sexist, refusing to be left alone with women. But with the carnage and mayhem that was the Brett Kavanaugh, that you nailed it there, dude. Carnage and mayhem, that's what it was. But with the carnage and mayhem that was the Brett Kavanaugh nomination, Vice President Pence's policy is starting to look very wise, even clairvoyant. And every man in America could stand to learn a lesson or two from our vice president. Be smart. Buy this handbook and learn to practice the Pence Principle. Defend your career, your family, yourself, and your life from the false accusations of women today and into the future. And I have read it. I got to do a review of which we paid an enormous amount of money. Remember, if you want me to read your book and you want to pay me an enormous amount of money, I will do that. It's very good. It's dark, it's sad, but it's very good that sex relations has come to this level. But yeah, it's like dealing with scorpions. We got there's 3 customer reviews, so it is relative. When did he publish it? It's relatively recent. Got it a couple days ago. All right. Anyway, so if you guys would check that out. Also, the Great Emu War. No, I already talked about that. We talked about the Great Emu War from the Quintessentialist. Oh, other books. The Elkins Comprehensive Tax Guide 2019. You guys all know our good buddy Chad Elkins. You can go to elkinscpa.com if you're looking for an accountant. Him and his old man, they always come out with an annual tax guide. So the Elkins Comprehensive Tax Guide for 2019. Exciting reading. Very exciting reading. I got, you guys all know Mary Jo. If you don't, I hired a cute girl to read some of the asshole consulting requests out there. And I wonder why I hired her. It must be because of her intelligence. Anyway, if you want to see a little TNA reading asshole consulting requests, you can go and look for Mary Jo. She's going to have another one coming up because somebody paid. I said, hey, wait, spruce these up a bit. Put a cute girl up on the cover. And Mary Jo, God bless her. One of those hardworking women who has a degree outside of, I just want to teach. She said, oh yeah, I'll do something, cutesy, kind of pin-up-y. And then Chad's dad put the kibosh on it. Egad, bad dad. No fun dad. I'm like, come on, because we had an idea she'd be like dressed up in this sexy accounting outfit, you get the green brim hat. And then the dad, just that standard, boring, fuddy-duddy CPA. Oh no, we can't. So I'm sorry, Chad, I tried. But then they also have another one, the Elkins Guide, Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's an exciting sequel. That is to address the Trump tax cuts and Jobs Act, which is not totally understood. This was their best effort, so there's a fair amount of guidance in there. But for those of you tax professionals looking for a guide, you could go ahead and get that. Again, maybe not the most exciting pleasure reading. I don't know if movies are going to be made about these books, but you can go there as well. I talked about my books. Adam Piggott's books, Run Guts, Pull Cones, and Pushing Rubber Downhill. Please visit our buddy Adam over at pushingrubberdownhill.com. Say hi to him. Give him some good cheer and give him a hello. Bust his balls. Maybe I should send him some more Irish Spring soap. I might skip it. I can't send him cigars. I tried to send him cigars and it got sent back. So I guess the Dutch Anti-Fun Brigade, who probably employ Mr. Elkins through the Anti-Fun Brigade. I know, no tobacco sent to our country. So I got my own cigars sent back to me, which had to be smoked. I had to, if they're not going to take them in Holland. So, refused gift by the Anti-Fun authorities in Holland. But they'll take Irish Spring and loofahs. But anyway, go visit Pushing Rubber Downhill. We have Asshole Consulting. Go to assholeconsulting.com if you want truth. Check that out. Go there if you have a specific situation. Trust you me, boys and girls. Okay, think about this. Okay, pay attention now. Imagine if all those Venezuelan women, before they had kids, contacted Asshole Consulting and paid me $100, which would be very expensive. Let me ask you this. And they paid me the $100 before they spread their legs and spat out kids they couldn't afford. If they each paid me $100 to say, should I have more kids than I could afford under a socialist dictatorship government? And I simply responded saying, no. That was it. They paid me $100 for me to email back, no. And they followed that advice. Would it be worth it? You damn right it'd be worth it, because they wouldn't be getting STDs and being prostitutes in Colombia. That is the power of Asshole Consulting and truth. I know society doesn't want you to listen to the truth. That's why all of you, millions of you, every year go and major in stupid shit in the liberal arts and the humanities. And anything I can do, you can do better, and follow the heart and the money will follow. And all that other lies, and now you're all racked up more debt than the housing bubble ever did. Maybe it's worth, on average, a $25 email consultation and a $35 video consultation over at assholeconsulting.com. If you have a specific situation you're not too sure about, like I had a kid, says, hey, should I cash in my 401k to pay off my student loans? I looked at the number like, no, hell no, what are you, an idiot? Don't do that. I charge him $35. You know what? Saved him at least a couple $100 in unnecessary interest expense and penalty fees. I can't guarantee you, because no economist in his right mind would. I can almost guarantee you there's a 1,000% rate of return on my consultation. If you paid me $35 before, let's say you're boy, it'd be a dream if every junior in high school contacted the old Capmeister first, and we just did a real quick rundown and assessment of your plans going forward into college and adulthood. If every kid, paid me $35 up front, hell, $100 up front, yes, no, yes, you'd save hundreds of thousands of dollars. Years of your youth, which would guarantee easily 1,000% rate of return. Yeah, it's like getting vaccinated against tuberculosis or diphtheria or whatever else you get. Just for God's sake, this $50 vaccine is going to prevent tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth, or might even prevent death. So go to ASO Consulting. Drop some very, very, very wise money. Have an old fart. Take a look at what you're about to do. Say, oh no, I did that. You don't want to do that. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my successes. Learn from the wisdom of old farts who are angry and pissed off and actually have the balls to tell you the truth, unlike your parents or your teachers. You do whatever you want. Oh my God, Dobby. And again, there's no real reason to say words, because the bullshit your parents and teachers are telling you is fluff and bullshit anyway. All right, what else we got?